Hello and welcome to Update Novi. I'm your host, Sheryl Walsh-Molloy, and it has been a long time, Novi, and one of the big requests we get in video is to bring back Update Novi. So with me here today is our Parks and Recreation Director, Jeff Muck. Jeff, welcome.
Sheryl.
And Sandy Fisher, who is a Recreation Coordinator, and I may have gotten that wrong.
Social Services Coordinator.
Social Services Coordinator. You know what? Social Services, we've had a lot of buzz going on in the last couple months, and I see a smile and like a little twinkle in your eye. And I think about a year ago, City Council directed us to create the social services program, for lack of a better word. It's not a department, but it's a program. It's a whole initiative. And I know, Sandy, it's become something very near and dear to your heart. And we worked with your team. Tell us a little bit about social services before we talk about why we're really here today.
Well, I'll start and introduce, well, you already introduced Sandy, but Sandy, we affectionately like to call her our senior concierge.
I like that. I like that title.
If you need any info on anything related to senior service, whether it's our loan closet, our transportation program, meal programs, food assistant programs that we have, Sandy has so many resources in Novi and the surrounding communities. It's one phone call to Sandy, and she's probably going to help you out.
You know, I love that title, first of all. I think you should request a change. I think that's pretty cool. But I think people that live in Novi don't realize the need that is there. And it could be a short-term need, or it could be a long-term need, right? Somebody has surgery, and there's a short-term need, be it for equipment, food assistance, transportation. But then there also could be a long-term need, socioeconomic status, family doesn't live close. Whatever the case might be, there could be a long-term need. What have you found, Sandy? And I guess I'll go to the Special Outreach Services Guide that just came out in the last Engage, which I know people have been calling, emailing. I think that was a huge hit. In a long time coming, we've been talking for several months about how best to distribute it. And do we just distribute it to those we've identified, seniors or those with special needs, or do we send it to everybody? And I think we hit the mark in sending it to everybody. But what have you found, Sandy, like eye-opening with the Special Outreach Services and then the guide? What's been the big aha moment for you?
Well, there's been multiple, but I have to say a lot of people are discovering the loan closet as part of it. I get more and more questions about housing, looking for housing, especially when a person gets on the older side and they're looking for housing that's been designated for 55 plus is a lot of questions.
So, and we probably will throw in affordable housing.
Absolutely. Okay. That's always a big question for me. I think it's been a great resource. I think we won't ever know the extent of it because someone hopefully is putting it in their drawer, their little junk drawer, and they realize they need something and they're going to pull it out and then they'll call us and they'll have it right there for themselves.
Good deal. I think one of the things that brought us here today is you sent an email, and I had an aha moment after working with your Parks team and you, Sandy, to create the Special Outreach Services Guide and enhancing our website. You sent a program that just really caught my eye and tugged at my heartstrings because we think, or I think a lot of people see our older adults as special outreach and needing. Those that may be disabled or are disabled, like I said, short or long-term, have special needs. But there's another group that I thought, wow, this is super cool. And we have a new program that you've partnered with Oakland County. I'm going to let you say what it is because I just think it's so awesome that our Parks team is working to promote. And I think it's the end of the month, March
31st.
And what is it, Sandy?
The Veterans Resource Fair is coming to Novi. They've been having little resource fairs throughout Oakland County, and it's Oakland County Veterans Services who are putting it together, and we're a host site for them.
So Veterans Resource Fair, I think in this day and age, we all see the need. I don't want to say to cater, because that's not the right word, but to provide services, special outreach type services for our veterans, right? They gave that, or they give or have given so much to our country, to their fellow Americans, to their neighbors, etc. It's an opportunity to give back and to provide a service for them. So when we say Veteran Resource Fair, what is that?
So they're going to give away free food boxes. It's actually multi-departments of Oakland County will be represented there to provide services specifically to all veterans. So it's anybody who's served in the military and is now out is eligible to come to this. It actually encouraged to come to this. Bring their spouse is another thing that they told me that would be really great. And they can learn about almost every sort of benefit that's available to veterans. So they'll have access to that through this fair.
So just benefits by Oakland County or for other agencies as well?
It's through the federal government as well.
Okay.
So that Oakland County helps facilitate a bunch of different programs. So there'll be, the housing department will be there. Someone from Michigan Works will be there. The VA is going to bring a vaccination clinic with them. So you name it, it'll be there. They'll be able to answer any question you have as a veteran.
So it's March 31st?
9 o'clock to noon, here in the Novi Civic Center.
How do people find out more information?
It's on our website.
Okay.
Through our website, cityofnovi.org.
Okay.
And you do pre-register because they want to know how many boxes to bring and how many donuts to have and all that sort of fun stuff. So it's an event invite through Oakland County. So that's also on our website.
And it's all ages and a veteran of any age.
Every veteran.
Okay.
So don't think of it as something that it's a planning ahead opportunity for veteran. It's also an opportunity to find out benefits that you have when you're an older veteran, especially if you wanted some sort of health care related to that.
So Novi's involvement. There was a need. We automatically said yes. We were talking before the show that, the Civic Center is the ideal location, not just location-wise, but the setup here at the Civic Center, right? We have ample space. We love to host job fairs, career fairs. You were talking about travel fairs, et cetera. It's a great opportunity. So they called and you said,
oh my God.
Yes. Yes.
Let me sign today. I can't wait. This is going to be fantastic.
Sandy called me after her initial conversation and said, hey, can I talk to you about having this Veterans Resource Fair? I need just a few minutes. I said, I don't even need a few minutes. I said, do it, get it done. And she ran with it and met with Oakland County, and now we'll be bringing it here.
That is awesome. That is awesome. So cityofnovi.org, Veterans Resource Fair. It's on the calendar. Someone can click on the calendar, March 31st, find it, go on, and it'll link to Oakland County's website, and they can sign up, register, and it's free, right? I don't think we've said the free word.
We didn't say free enough. Everything is free.
Okay.
Everything is free.
Wonderful. Anything else you want to share? Because I can't stress enough and thank you enough for the work that you have done, well, throughout your tenure here with Novi, but over the past year in our special outreach services. And I think this, with all of the other things that you all do, it's like the cherry on top. This is just another demographic, another population that can benefit from the special services. So.
I'd like to say we've been reaching out to homeowners associations, the religious community, local doctors' offices. We want and need the community to help us identify people in need too, because Sandy has so many resources, the city has so many resources, but we don't know every single person out there who needs that help. So everybody can help us by identifying.
That's a great point. And I think I would use myself as an example, but if I had an elderly neighbor that might not know, but I identify, there's no harm for someone as a neighbor to call in and say, hey, the neighbor at 12345, Birch Street, I know they live alone. Could you make contact with them just to see if there's anything they need? They might be hesitant to reach out for themselves, but then it just identifies them unless there's no harm. That's what good neighbors do, right? They look out for each other.
Absolutely.
And I think people might not realize that during the pandemic, phone calls were made to everyone that we had on a list, over thousands of over 60, 65?
Over 55.
Over 55. I didn't get the call, Mr. Muck.
We might have taken you off of there, so.
The Molloys were off the list, thank goodness. But I think that's so important for people to know that, and the phone call was just a, hey, how you doing? Is there anything you need? Do you have transportation? Is there anything we can do for you? And a lot of people said, nope, we're great, thanks for checking. But we did identify vulnerable, residents and people that could use assistance or that want to continue to be checked in on, right?
Right. And we've also identified a couple of program opportunities based on the questions they had. Mm-hmm. They wanted to know more about something, so we're putting together more programs that we can do this fall.
That's awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you. What's your new title? Senior concierge. I love that.
Yeah, there we go.
That. It's like upscale hotel, resort. It's very cool. I like it. But thank you again. Veteran Resource Fair on March 31st, 9 to noon, cityofnovi.org, and it's free to any vet, right?
Absolutely. It's free. Share the word. Come. Everyone come, bring your spouse.
Perfect.
Learn about all the benefits available to you.
That's amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Stay tuned. When we come back, Director Muck and I are going to update you on some pretty cool things happening in our Novi Parks. Don't go away.
Have you ever wondered how you can make a difference in someone's life? Every year, over 475,000 people die from cardiac arrest in the United States alone. This makes heart disease the #1 cause of death. CPR, or cardiopulmonary resuscitation, is an emergency life-saving procedure performed when the heart stops beating. Immediate CPR can double or even triple a person's chance of survival. But that survival depends upon immediate CPR from someone. The earlier you perform CPR on a person, you increase their chance of survival. You could be that someone. Step up and make a difference. Help increase survival from cardiac arrest by learning CPR. The Novi Fire Department offers free CPR classes to Novi residents at our fire station number 4, located at 49375 West 10 Mile Road. Classes are offered the first Wednesday of the month, excluding June, July, and August. These classes are held in the evenings and begin promptly at 6:30 and end at 10 p.m. You must be 16 years or older, wear comfortable clothes, and be ready to learn. For questions, please feel free to contact our training officer at 248-735-5667. To register for a class, give us a call at 248-347-0400, or you can go to the city's website, cityofnovi.org. Under the Services tab, go to Public Safety and select Fire. On the right-hand side, you will find a list of options. Select Community Programs, then click on CPR class. It's that simple. You can be that someone who makes a difference in someone's life.
Welcome back to Update Novi. Once again, I am your host, Sheryl Walsh-Molloy, Director of Communications here for the city. And with me on this segment again is our Director of Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Services, Jeff Muck. Jeff, very cool program that your team is leading on the Veterans Resource Program, so kudos to you. Let's talk parks, because it's almost spring. It's like a week from spring, actually.
Close.
But time when people are getting out and about, the sun has us all clamoring to get out of our houses. And I know there is a ton that's been going on in our park system, right? Program-wise, new facility-wise. So what can residents look forward to 2022 and beyond?
So this is a big spring. The long-awaited opening of Bosco Fields is on tap. We'll be kicking off our soccer season.
There you go. I like how you did that. I do.
This April, first week of April, brand new soccer fields, corner of Beck and 11 Mile, 13 soccer fields of different shapes and sizes, open green space, great drainage, great new fields. Going to be a really welcome spot in the middle of the city.
And this is a long time coming. It's just not, people might remember the Bosco farm that was there. So that's been a couple years gone. People might not realize the behind the scenes work that you and our city administration did or are doing to do a land exchange with the schools to acquire more of that property at Beck and 11. But I, as a resident, have seen the fields, like the grass growing and growing. And you don't just like make a soccer field and poof, it needs to cultivate, right?
Exactly. It takes a while. You can't just send everybody out there right away. It'll tear it up. So we're ready, though, this spring.
So we're ready this spring. 13 fields, just soccer, or are we going to see some lacrosse, some field hockey? I'm showing my lack of knowledge here as to what they play on.
Flexible enough to do flag football, flexible enough for lacrosse. We could even do cricket out there if we wanted to. So open green space, but mainly soccer. And the need was identified, obviously, through our Parks and Rec master plan that we needed more soccer fields. Yes, and it's also to take some of the burden off of our ITC Community Sports Park.
Okay.
That's been our hub for soccer for years and years and years, but it needs some tender loving care, and having these new fields open will allow us to do some things at ITC.
They look beautiful. So let's not go too far from Bosco Fields. In fact, let's stay there and talk about these soccer fields are going to open, but there's a bigger vision for Bosco Fields.
Absolutely.
And what is that?
Have you heard about the splash pad?
That's what I was referring to.
The splash pad.
You just made the splash, so go ahead.
So this fall, we were approached by the family of former Fox 2 meteorologist Jessica Starr, and they offered to help fundraise for a brand new splash pad to be built in her honor in Novi. And so with talking with the family, we identified Bosco Fields as the perfect spot for it. It's close to where her children go to school, center of town. Her husband, Dan, is still a resident, and the kids are a resident in Novi, access to the ITC trail. So it just made a whole lot of sense.
Ample parking, and it makes great sense.
Yep.
So I've seen some of the drawings, and it's going to be amazing. So that would be another great amenity that would be free, basically, right, for residents to enjoy.
Absolutely.
So right now, fundraising efforts are ongoing for that. I know you had a big event yesterday, but people that might be interested, I think we have all the information on the city's website, cityofnovi.org or Novi Parks. Where should they go?
They can also go to noviparksfoundation.org to make donations. We also accept donations here at the Civic Center at the Parks office, though, as well.
But if they go to cityofnovi.org, they can link to Novi Parks Foundation. Is that noviparksfoundation.org as well?
Yep.
So great opportunity to see what's going on there. So from there, we'll head on over to Wildlife Woods.
Yeah, so let's talk, we just were talking about the special outreach services. Part of that is Mayor and City Council really wanted to focus on health and wellness as well. And so we built a brand new outdoor exercise park at Wildlife Woods Park, which has a relatively new entrance off of Wixom Road. There are also 4 brand new pickleball courts there that we opened up. So it's a very nice, I would say it's almost a senior-oriented complex now with the pickleball courts and the outdoor exercise. And this spring, we're actually putting in a spur to the ITC trail into the park as well. So people from all over Novi can access that park from the ITC trail.
So, and if people, that's amazing. And I know the pickleball courts last year were packed, but they were so popular. And the exercise equipment is fairly new. So I think they went in last fall.
It opened right before the snow flew. So we're looking forward to kicking that off.
So, and I think not only was the need identified for older adults or seniors per se, but I think the pandemic showed us that people want to be outside. They want to recreate and not be in a gym all the time. So the outdoor exercise equipment and pickleball courts were just a natural fit to keep, especially older adults that might be more weary of going into a gym, right?
Our parks have never been busier. And the other part of the SOS program is we also built a brand new inclusive playground down at Power Park last summer. So
we did.
Focused on people of all abilities. You know, we didn't design the playground with just kids in mind. We want your aunt or your grandma who wants to come with the kids and might be in a mobility device to be able to get onto the playground as well. And we succeeded with that. It's 100%.
It's pretty amazing. It is pretty amazing. Let's go north a little bit, because a couple years ago now, God, I can't believe it's been a couple years ago. It'd be 2 years this winter, right?
So if you're talking Lakeshore,
I am talking
last
Lakeshore.
summer we officially reopened. We shut down
I'm trying to
for
think
construction.
when council shut. Yeah, it was over
right
a year
before
ago.
COVID started.
Yeah.
So, and then had all the COVID construction issues and delays. And
So this year it should really be looking good.
it should. I mean, I thought it looked really good last year. It really popped.
But the
People
plantings and
used it.
stuff.
Yep,
the
grass.
plantings, the grass and everything. So we're talking Lakeshore Park. And that isn't just a new building for camp. And I've seen programs in there. I saw some laser tag. I saw a fencing class, which is super cool. But a new play structure.
Massive play
New
structure.
shelter. New beach access. Well, new beach, not the access point. But
Actually, we did put a new sidewalk and some seating down on the beach as well that were handicap accessible.
So new restrooms that are outdoor accessible for the beach attached to the building. If you have not been, you have to go visit it. It is so beautiful and just so serene up there. And the use, I know, is through the roof up there for that.
Yeah, if you haven't rented a picnic shelter yet and you want Lakeshore, you should really call us right away for this summer.
Get on it now. Design award.
We just... So myself and several members of our team just got back from the Michigan Recreation and Park Association annual conference, and Lakeshore Park did win a Park Design Award. The committee was just in awe of what we had done for the handicap accessibility, the pedestrian safety, and then just the aesthetic view of the park. So they were very complimentary, and brand new award to hang on the wall.
That's amazing, amazing. What's to come? We talked splash pad. Novi Northwest Park, I know, is in development.
Potentially, yeah. We're waiting to hear on a grant for that. The second phase of the outdoor exercise equipment project will be at Rotary Park. We have 4 stations that'll go in along a trail at Rotary Park once the water project is done on 9 Mile.
Awesome. Is it too soon to talk about the water tower park?
No, I think we should talk about that
I think we
a little
should too,
bit.
because I think that's kind of exciting, because that's a go.
Yeah, so we've got some exciting news that you'll see more about. One of our Parks and Municipal Grounds team members came forward with a great idea for the Novi Water Tower Park. And we're going to be building an RC raceway, remote controlled cars, electric cars. And we think it's just a perfect spot for it to go reflect on the heritage and tradition of racing in Novi.
So if people aren't familiar, the Novi Water Tower that was just redone, Jeff led that with his team and a team from PPG and a resident. But the water tower there that's adjacent to Novi Road, the city actually owns the property that sits on Transex, I think. On Transex. And I think it is just so incredible when the city talks about leadership at all levels and ideas come from everywhere. This is a staff member that this is their hobby and just identified a great need. The money's already in the budget. It's
very minimal.
Very minimal. It's not a lot of money to create this until we figure out what really it should be, right?
If this takes off and it could get bigger and better and more permanent, or if we don't see the use, I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think so either.
But if we don't, it can revert to something else down the line. But a lot of credit to those guys in the Parks Maintenance Department. They just came up with a really unique proposal. The dirt is there. Volunteers are coming out of the woodwork who want to help. So it's going to be a cool thing to see develop this spring and summer.
We were remiss in the first segment. We got totally talking about something else, and we do have a big change and refresh coming. in May. So one of the most visible in the heart of the Civic Center campus parks is FUERST Park at the corner, because it sits right in front of the high school, adjacent to the library. But FUERST Park has some beautiful meandering trails through it. We've got the little amphitheater there and the old township hall. Your team, our team, City Council, identified the need to commemorate those that served, gave their lives for the country, and commemorate on Memorial Day. And then further that for veterans. We've got a refresh coming in May and a way to honor those men and women. Let's talk super quick before we close about that.
Yeah, so we're going to go on the Wednesday before Memorial Day, invite the entire community to come to FUERST Park. There will be what we're calling First Field of Honor, flags lined up with in remembrance of those who lost their lives. We will have a ceremony. Our vets are invited to come. We have a concert, a very patriotic-oriented concert. And then there will also be a very, I feel it's going to be a very moving and poignant ceremony in honor of those who were lost, who gave their all. And so we'll have many members of the community participating in that, as well as our veterans. So
that'll be a great opportunity to come out before Memorial Day weekend. In the evening, bring your family, and the city will provide refreshments, things to drink, and just gather together. And to honor and I think recognize in this, especially this time, of how important and how sacred those individuals are that give their life, that, put their lives on the line. And we do have Novi residents that have lost their lives in the line of duty. But I can't wait to see, it'll be American flags lined every so many feet all throughout that park. And people will be able to walk throughout it and just, quietly remember, give thanks, etc.
And I think that's a good point, Sheryl. Why we're doing this is it's not just that 6 o'clock to 8 or 9 o'clock event. Those flags are going to be up for the week. So if somebody wants to come in private and reflect and reminisce on maybe somebody they lost, or maybe think about a person who's currently serving, they can make that walk on their own at their own time and pace.
I can't wait to see it. The visual in my mind and what we've mocked up is just stunning to me. I can't wait to see the impact and the power that, especially on that corner, which will be visual from the road and then as you walk it. I think what also excites me is the opportunity that we're going to have in November to not just recognize those that paid the ultimate price, but to recognize any and all that serve or are veterans of people that live in Novi or are family members of those that live in Novi, by purchasing medallions that you'll be able to walk along the field and see the actual names and photos. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think, and we all know that was initiated too by Mayor Gadd.
Yep.
So, and with support of City Council. So we're looking forward to that as well. I think that is just going to step our Veterans Day remembrances up a lot as well.
It'll be very cool. So I look forward to both of those initiatives. And, I think that's one thing that I love about Novi is there's no resting on our laurels, right? We're always looking for new and creative ways to recreate, honor, and engage, participate in Novi, right? And I think both of those programs, these park activities, are all great testaments to that. So thank you for all you and your team do. Anything else you want to add, or?
Oh, well, so I would be remiss. Last year, we got our reaccreditation.
Oh, there you go.
So I have to give kudos to our entire team for that.
Okay.
And it's actually an entire city project, but we received our commission for accreditation of parks and recreation agencies, one of only 3 in the state, one of only about 180 out of 10,000 in the country. So when we talk about parks and recreation in Novi, we try to be at our top of our game.
That's amazing. Congratulations again. And thanks for all you do. On behalf of our team, of the residents watching, thanks to your team too.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Update Novi and sharing a little bit about our parks programs, our parks facilities, etc. And if you are interested in learning more, cityofnovi.org, as always, for all of your City of Novi needs. Until next time, take care, Novi.